Downtown Mooresville is home to many great restaurants and bars. One of my favorites is 158 on Main. The Craft Cocktail Bar offers a seasonal food menu, events, and live music. They also have event space that can hold up to 70 guests for your next big event. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you for joining me for my local business spotlight. Today I'm at 158 on Main here in Mooresville, and I am joined by Rob Grosskopf, the co-owner and operator here at 158 on Main. Thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely, thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about 158 on Main and how everything came about and you guys got started.
Yeah, no, so it's a unique story. I mean, it really starts with my business partners getting in downtown Mooresville about 6 years ago. They started buying buildings here on Main Street, this being one of them, and for a while the building sat vacant and they were just wondering, okay, let's entertain a few different business ideas, and finally they just said, you know what, we're going to do it ourselves. Part of downtown development and part of the community that we strive to build and develop and grow in Main Street America is having the right businesses in the right spots. And I think for them, as they looked at kind of the landscape of downtown Mooresville, they said craft cocktail bar or some sort of upbeat bar with live music is desperately needed. And so that's kind of how 158 was born. It's grown so much since then. I mean, we started out as craft cocktails and live music. We've really grown into a good food program. We offer comedy shows, tribute bands, private dinners. So there's always something going on at 158 on Main, which is really great. We've got a lot to offer our members here at the club. We're always looking for new ways to make things more exciting or more unique to, one, attract new members, but also to keep our existing ones happy and busy.
Talking about new and innovative things and keeping all the members busy and having something new, you recently opened up the dive bar. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so we had this space downstairs, and it used to be frank, a storage space. Myself and the others, we officed out of there, and it was kind of funny because it was literally a desk in a concrete room. And so as we started looking at the space, it's like, we own the buildings. We want to make that usable space. Using it as storage is great. However, it doesn't do much for the bottom line, right? And it's not that exciting, right? Mm-hmm. So, we're looking at doing other concepts and really growing the company. And so, myself and my business partner Kira, we kind of had this joking conversation about, bars from our past, right? And so I started bringing up a bar from my college town where we used to play buck hunter, and that kind of got her to say, oh my God, let's do a dive bar. And then let's call it Dive Bar.
And so, it works because it's in the basement.
Exactly, yeah. And so it's this like amalgamation of all of our favorite parts about a dive bar, right? So when you go down there, you're gonna see license plates on the walls, you're gonna see Christmas lights hanging from the ceiling, dollar bills from the ceiling. We've got toys from the crane machine tucked in different corners, lots of knickknacks on the wall, rock and roll memorabilia, our vintage arcade memorabilia. And then you also see games, right? So you can play pool and darts and skee ball, and there's a beer pong game and a crane game, buck hunter, pinball. So a lot of Pac-Man, Galaga. So it's this good combination of vintage games with newer games, and so it's a really unique kind of barcade adult fun zone experience, right? It offers a little bit more than just simply going to the bar and getting a drink.
Right.
Really gives our guests something to do while they're drinking and having fun with their friends, and the response has been incredible so far. I think it touches on a lot of different age groups. For some people it's nostalgic, for some people it's vintage, right? So it's really touched on a lot of different things, which I think is great.
Yeah. And it's obviously in a perfect location. I've been here before where we had to wait a little bit for a table, and gives us something to do while we wait to...
Correct, head on down. Yeah, it's definitely been a great, for some people a waiting room, for some people a first stop, for some people a last stop, right?
Yeah.
And I think, when we did Miracle Bar with 158 and doing the Christmas pop-up this winter, it was a great overflow spot for a lot of folks. Mm-hmm. So it's a really... we've seen a much younger crowd down there as we get later into the night, but we've also seen all age groups at all different parts of the day enjoying, that nostalgic experience. So
So I recently got a tour as well of Parblu next door.
Yeah.
You recently added that using more of the building space, more of an event center, is that correct?
Yeah, so Parblu is really, it's private event space, right? So we've tried to keep a lot of the touches from when it was a soda fountain back in the day, exposed brick, vaulted ceilings, details on the ceiling, chandeliers. It really turned out really beautifully. And, the space has been, at first we thought it was going to be a lot of, wedding receptions and showers, which we do a lot of. But, we've been able to do a lot more as well. I mean, we've done, milestone birthday celebrations. We've done smaller kid birthday parties. We actually hosted a bar mitzvah, believe it or not. And we're doing a prom this spring. So, the ways in which you can use the space are limitless. And as far as a guest count, we've hosted everywhere from 90 to more of a cocktail style event, down to 70 for something more formal and seated. We had a really lovely wedding celebration. They were married for about 40 years, and they did a wedding celebration there. Beautiful seated dinner. Turned out really, really gorgeous. So it's been really amazing for us to see what comes to people's mind when they start recreating the space. And we've been a lot of really cool memories. I think that's the best part about Parblu for us is, we get to take care of guests every single day in our other establishments. But what I think is so special about Parblu is we're there for those big moments,
right.
Which is really cool.
And can anybody reserve that space or just members of 158 on Main?
Anyone can reserve the space. So you can go online to our website, parbluevents.com. We make it really easy for you. We have the pricing, what days are available, there's a calendar, frequently asked questions. Try and make the website as informative as possible. And so at any time you can check what days are available and you can inquire with our team about the more finer details as well.
So since this has been so successful here in downtown Mooresville, do you guys have any plans of future locations or expansions?
Yeah, definitely. So, at this point, we've decided to kind of stick with the concepts that we have, but expand them. So our next big mission is expanding the Dive Bar brand. And, our core kind of message for how we're developing things is, we're big on Main Street America. Right, so you're not going to catch us in, downtown Charlotte or downtown Charleston or anything like that. We are really focused on developing, small main streets throughout North Carolina. Exactly. And so we've identified 3 locations, one of which I can share, which is Hickory. We've actually started the process and we've gotten that underway, and we're hoping that we're going to open up in July. And we've got 2 more, one of which we're hopeful that will open this fall, and then another that will likely be early next year. So you're looking at about 3 more dive bars here in the next 9 to 12 months. Okay. Once we get those completed, we're going to be looking at our next set of 2 or 3. So we've got our eyes on the prize in terms of growing the company. It's been really successful so far, and it's resonated with people. So we're really happy about that. And again, we like being a part of communities. So, and I think it's really exciting for me to see everything that we're going to have moving forward throughout main streets in North Carolina.
Thank you again for joining me today, Rob. It was great talking to you, and thank you for the tour. I look forward to visiting you at your new locations when those open.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining me as well today. And be sure to like and subscribe my YouTube channel so you don't miss any upcoming local spotlights.